Good morning, Brian, and good morning, MLSP Nation. How is everybody this morning? I'm in a great mood. I went out yesterday. It is, and I know Brian used to live up here, or a little south of me, but no, he grew up in Connecticut. It is that perfect, perfect, perfect fall day. The day with the vibrant colors, the day where the little leaves are just kind of spiraling down from the trees, the day where you know you better get outside because there's not many more like this coming. So I'm super excited today because to me, a day like today is the type of day where you grab a notebook, you go sit under a tree, and you'll learn something or you record your thoughts. You just really get out there and you just really make it yours. Tonight, it's the third Thursday of the month. You might be listening to this on the podcast. I know we have just tens of thousands of downloads all the time. But tonight is the third Thursday of the month. So I'm doing my monthly mastermind. And I want to get a little hardcore about this mastermind today. I want to get a little hardcore about mentorship today. And I want to talk about positioning because that's the topic of the call tonight. When I started in this profession, Brian mentioned, I was a housewife. I had no sales or marketing background. I had no background in anything. I just knew I needed to make $100 this week because, we needed $100 this week. And I followed the directions that were given to me. And right out of the gate, I had some success. I did, the house party and all that other good stuff. And then basically I found myself tapped out. I had gone through friends and family. It was the holidays. In fact, it was this time of year. I just celebrated my 21st anniversary on October 1st. It was this time of the year. Everybody was, super, day like today, everybody's like, yeah, I want to lose weight. I want to look awesome. And then, the holidays came and the cookies came out and everybody was like, I don't want to lose weight. And I was there trying to figure out where to go and what to do. And I quickly noticed that if I became one of the trainers or the helpers or the part of the crew at the meetings, and my upline lived 3 hours away, so I could only go to the meetings when they had them on Saturdays. I couldn't go, Tuesday, Thursday nights. We didn't have the internet then. We didn't have Zoom. Right? Zoom is like a way of life now. But back then, none of this was even thought of. And I realized that if I walked in with a prospect or a couple of prospects, if I was acknowledged by the guy that was making millions at the front of the room, I instantly seemed more important, more full of authority. I shouldn't even use those words. Basically, more believable to my prospects because of my association with the big dogs. So I started coming early and setting up chairs, and I started doing whatever they needed to get done. If they needed somebody to do the product display, if they needed someone to serve samples at lunchtime, whatever they needed to get done, I started showing up. And Brian mentioned during the introduction, I'm always, here to help out. I always come in service because I learned very early on that when you're positioned that way, things change. Okay, things change because the people that you bring to look at what you're doing see you differently because of who you're associated with. Now, that's something that's so simple, and yet it's something that passes by most people's cognition. Most people don't realize that, and they keep kind of trying to do everything on their own and staying by themselves, and they don't think, I'm going to show up early and help out because they think, I don't get paid to do that. I don't get paid to do that. What am I going to show up early and help out for? I don't get paid to do that. And that's stinking thinking, right? Because everything changes when people see you at the front of the room. Everything changes. Something as simple as being the person making and serving shakes at lunchtime made you one of the people that were part of the team. And when you were part of the team, you instantly had more authority. So let's fast forward I ended up meeting my mentor, and I know I tell these stories a lot, and I tell them for a reason. I want you to understand and grasp how I got here. Brian mentioned before the call, I'm the top earner here. And it's not by accident. And I'm not saying that because I'm so great, because I certainly wasn't, but the smartest of the crew, the most technical of the crew. And a lot of my colleagues have gone on to run businesses far bigger than mine. So please do not misinterpret me as being braggadocious. But there was a specific thought process in my mind as I attacked the different opportunities and things I've been affiliated with. So fast forward, I met my mentor, and it was an accident. I had taken his courses. I met him. It was an accident, and he invited me to come hang out sometime. He said there's certain things I can only pass to you person to person. And I went and hung out with him, and we just became peas and carrots. And I started doing work for him and helping him, not for pay, not for pay, right? And everybody would be like, well, why would you do that? I just started helping him. He had some learning disabilities. I did too, but mine seemed to complement his. And I would edit things and help him with different things. And then when he launched a program, guess who became the queen? Okay, that sounds so presumptive again, the queen. But guess who got held up and put in front of the room and got to greet the calls and got my name shouted out over and over and over and over? Yeah, Diane. So I was positioned properly at the top of frankly, a small heap. When social media was born, I had an army of people that loved our work, and it wasn't a big army, an audience, as we teach here. And when social media was born, that audience went and jumped all over my content. And because of that, I got pushed around. I got, today we talk about the algorithm. Back when we didn't know what an algorithm was. But my content got pushed around a lot because we had developed an audience. They saw me as the queen next to the king of this organization. They all started shouting about my content. And the next thing you know, I was all over the place. I had run a couple of simple ads at the time, and I was everywhere, and I was associating with all the big dogs. Okay. They were all calling my name, interviewing me. I've been interviewed thousands of times, some by people that are very, very big or were very big. And that positioning gave me a leg up. So then when they started running big events in the attraction marketing space, we'll call it, it's kind of spun out in different directions. Who was the person they called and said, would you come speak at our event? The first one. Actually, the first one, they didn't invite me, and they wanted me to promote it. And I said, listen, when you get some women, I'll promote it, because there were no women speakers. It was all young guys. The next year, they called me up and they said, you want to come speak? I said, sure. I got on stage with every big player in front of thousands of people in a huge theater in Las Vegas. Those photographs alone positioned me in a way that there was no turning back. And then I came over here and I got to speak over here. And here's the key. Here's the key. And I'm going to go into this tonight. If you're not in the deep abyss, or if you're in the deep abyss and you're not paying attention, guys, I am laying out the wisdom of the ages. Why am I doing it for $25? Because there's one person. There's one person that if they hear this, just like when I learned it, there's one person that when they hear this is going to catapult forward. I don't know who it is, but I didn't want hurdles for you to get at it. And what's interesting is most people don't, they're looking for the newest tactic. They're looking for the newest trick. And what they're not understanding is positioning will make you more money than any tactic or trick you could ever work on. Positioning puts you at the front of the line. You just skip. It's like going to the nightclub and they have the velvet rope and everybody's waiting online. Studio 54, I'm showing my age. Everybody's outside in a cold New York night waiting to get in, hoping they get picked to get in. And your limo pulls up. They'll walk in, they open the rope, they kiss you on the cheek, and they say, welcome in, and you're in the party. And whether or not you want to go to the top of the heap, I didn't know what that was when I started. I was just a housewife, and I wanted to sell one more set of diet pills. And I knew if they associated me with the top people in the room, they were more likely to give me their money. They were more likely to buy some diet pills. So, and today there's so many opportunities. There's so much you could possibly do. But the question becomes, do you understand that you can skip? Do you understand that there are ways to appear a certain way? There's ways to associate with certain people. And by the way, for those of you that wonder, why did I pick MLSP over the other choices out there? And there's lots of other choices. Why did I pick it? Why did I pick this place? And by the way, most of the other choices that started years ago are not standing. We're here 12 years later. Okay. I really want you to think about that. Why did I pick it? Because this was the place that offered positioning like no other. This was the place that heralded their members. This was the place that shows off their members. This is the place that publishes the stories of their members out to their list of hundreds of thousands of people, giving you exposure like you can't get anywhere else. If you see that, and if you understand that, then you know why it's worth going to work. Because when you have positioning, it's easier to recruit to your opportunity all day long because you've been seen. When you have positioning, people tend to call you because you become the go-to person for that opportunity. Other people start to notice you, other players, they open the door, they let you into their cool kids club. It's so simple to skip the line if you can see what I'm talking about. And that's why you need to come every single month or listen to the recording if you can't make it live to the Deep Abyss, because I'm teaching you what they don't teach elsewhere. I'm teaching you the things that will give you leverage. Guys, I had kids. I didn't have time to sit around all day. Today, the whole trend is you got to make 4,000 pieces of content. You got to do this and you got to do that. And everybody's selling you that story. Everybody's selling you that story about all the things you got to do. And I don't think you got to do none of them. And if you ever see me moving fast, it's because I see the positioning and everything's lined up correctly in its position. If you ever see me moving slow, it's because the positioning isn't correct. Because what I do is I look down the football field and I see, is there an opening? Can I score a touchdown? If there's a bunch of blockers and there's no opening and I can't make it down the field, I don't even bother going. I don't believe in an exercise in frustration, and I don't believe in spending time on things that are not fruitful. It started with having little children. I couldn't spend my days on things that weren't fruitful. Today, in my 50s, it's hard to say that. I mean, I'm getting to be in my mid-50s now. It's crazy. But today, I want to, once this is all over and COVID, it kind of put a kink in my plans. But I love to travel and I love to be places and I love to be with people and I love to break bread. And I don't want to spend the whole day doing busy work that positioning would fix for you. And there is no better place that I know of. Maybe there's something out there somewhere, but I don't know of a better place than My Lead System Pro to gain unique positioning that'll catapult you forward. So guys, I'm going to jump over to the fan page, and I hope to give you a little bit of a background story about what we're going to learn tonight. I'm going to teach you some formulas. I'm going to teach you some processes. Last month, I taught a process that is $1 million process. And I am not kidding. $1 million process if you look at it, and if you'll study it, and if you'll engage, and if you'll take the mentorship. Up to you. I show up every month. I showed up every month for over 5 years. Would you like the mentorship? If you would, I'll meet you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, thedeepabyss.com. And everybody else, I'll see you over on the fan page in a few minutes, MLSPfanpage.com. Take care, everybody. See you in a bit. Hey, guys, if any of you are interested in the mastermind tonight, let me just give you the correct link. Obviously, you want to go through my link for this. And I am dead serious. I'm going to go over. I got to do another live. I am dead serious about this stuff. It is magical. It will save you time. It will save you energy, and it'll make you a lot of money. So I'm going to go over to the MLSP fan page. Thanks for being here. Take care.